My name is Victor Campos. I am the founder and the CEO of MOSH for Youth and the vocalist for BARRIO SLAM.
I mean, since the very beginning, before I joined the band, BARRIO SLAM was always been about being proud for being brown.
Have you tried that?
It started kind of out of nowhere. Victor called me.
And I said, hey, let's get together, let's write. I have these songs that I've written already on the guitar. Let's get them out there.
I don't think we really thought it was gonna do much. It was like a little project. We just wanted to write some music about what was going on at the time.
We wrote, right? Like I wrote the lyrics for the demo. I wrote all of the guitar parts. I told them what to play on the drums. Now it's just get together. And I'm just trying to show people like who I am. In writing that, it kind of like people related to it.
People from Pomona starting a Pomona hardcore band, you know what I mean? There's not a lot of Pomona bands. Every single member that's been in BARRIO SLAM has something to do with Pomona hardcore.
What hardcore is, I think there's two sides of it, right? There's the music side, which is just fast, aggressive, in your face.
Goes against the grain of what you're told to be and to do.
Where if you want something done, you do it yourself.
And the moshing and stage diving.
In your face lyrics, in your face instrumentals. That's the music side of hardcore, right? It seems like a lot of people think that it's aggression for the sake of being aggressive.
And that's not the case, you know? It's angry to put those feelings out, you know? To again, talk about frustrations and things like that. It's not angry to necessarily make you angry and just to produce anger. It's like to be angry for a reason.
It's aggression that's built up through outside factors. And I think that's where the misconceptions come, and people won't understand it until they're in it.
Hardcore is like you see a problem, you're like, let's do something about it. Whether, how big or small, it's just like, why not just fix a problem instead of walking away?
Most of my life, I lived here in Pomona. A lot of people in Pomona know somebody, right, that has gotten killed, that has, you know, had some kind of violence present in their lives because of like the lack of resources that Pomona gets. Things like poverty. There's immigration issues, right? There have been raids in Pomona because we are a Latino community. Living in fear of just living here. These are things that we take to be normal that aren't normal.
My name is Tracy. I don't know who I am yet, and I do go to UCSB. Yeah. Well, at a very young age, I entered the foster system. I was adopted by my grandmother, and for some time it was just me and her against the world. She was diagnosed with cancer when I was 10, and she did pass away later that year. Later, I was adopted by my uncle and aunt, along with my 3 other cousins who had entered the foster system. I spent most of my childhood just watching over my younger siblings, making sure they didn't get into much trouble. And I guess I also spent most of my time trying to survive, you know, the grief. Later on, I realized that life isn't just about survival, it's much more than that.
There needs to be a way out of, not necessarily out of Pomona, but out of poverty. So that's when I started to kind of shift. And I think that's when I started to focus a little bit more on like, all right, maybe I should go to college. I always told myself I wouldn't be a teacher. It didn't work out because I started teaching. I started like paying more attention to society, where I got angrier in a different way. Why are things so bad? There's students that were going through a lot of things that were out of their control. in terms of like poverty, gang violence, all that stuff. So when I started noticing these things, right, it kind of changed my perception and my mentality of what being a teacher should be like. The roots of MOSH for Youth, honestly, I always talk about the tweet because there's one tweet where I said, I want to throw a show to build scholarship money. I had always talked about it, right? Like wanting to do something that involved both education and hardcore.
The transition was more of marrying two sides of Victor. He's always been throwing events, doing hardcore shows at his parents' house, you know, when we were in high school. And then he's the educator. It was just, he finally married those two together. And it's something that, you know, I think I saw coming.
I think because BARRIO SLAM is so connected to MOSH for Youth, I feel like MOSH for Youth really helped us, but then BARRIO SLAM really helped MOSH for Youth, and we all both grew together.
It was natural. It was natural to see. He just rolled into it, and it was just like, it all just makes sense too, you know.
MOSH for Youth is an official like nonprofit organization where we host music events, hardcore shows to raise scholarship money. It started off for just students of East LA and Pomona, where I taught and where I grew up, but we just also added in the city of San Bernardino. The proceeds, they go towards building a scholarship fund that gets divided to students of those three cities.
I did apply to the scholarship and I was just like, I don't know, I just kind of didn't think I was gonna get it. And then I got the email and I was just like, I'm gonna do this. Like, I have the help that I need. But yeah.
The host for MOSH for Youth is that if a student wants to go to college from our communities, then they don't hesitate, right? That they have that drive to say like, okay, I'm gonna go because I want to go.
No one in my family went to college. None of my relatives went to college. It was more like you graduate and then you start working. If people around me talked to me about college, you know, when I was a freshman, we would have studied a little harder and done my homework so I can go to college.
That link between hardcore kids, like seeing, you know, MOSH for Youth, and it's a very charitable thing, again, through this angry music. So it's great to see it being impactful in the students' lives, the scholarship recipients' lives, but also in other people to be motivated to like use our platform of hardcore to do something positive.
Even if you're not a person who's benefiting directly from MOSH for Youth, but you see these positive things, it causes ripples throughout the community, and hopefully it makes other people want to help too. And you know, I think that could have been beneficial for me and everyone else around me, like to see these really positive movements.
My life has changed significantly only because like it meant a chance at the big world that usually tries to put you down. It's a hope. It's a beacon for those who want to become someone in life.
Knowing that there's people out there that are willing to help me, you know, I think that's what hardcore is all about. It's beautiful. It's love. It's all love.
I want to give as much money as I can to as many different students as I can, right? That's meaningful at that. The hope is that MOSH for Youth is like that little like glimpse of hope, right? Without hesitation, to say that college is available to you if you want to go to college. The hope is to change the almost predetermined outcome of students from those cities, right? So to me, MOSH for Youth is just a hope for our communities.
Hardcore is literally everything. Yeah, I've made all of my best friends like coming here, you know? Hardcore like genuinely like changed my life in like every way. Like,
It's corny to say like it means everything, but like it really does. It's community, it's friendship, it's dope music. It's helped shape my life in many different ways. You know what I mean?
It's influenced my life. I don't know how to define it. It's a different thing for everyone. You know?
Hardcore to me is community, friends, and family. Short and sweet.
It's a place where you can kind of express yourself and just, there's a lot of friends, family, and just brotherhood that I find in hardcore.
With the homies that I haven't seen for a long time, and hardcore brought us together. Now they're like brothers to me, for family, I guess.
I mean, I grew up rebellious, you know, and fighting for freedom and everyone's equal rights, you know, like, but hardcore means like freedom for everyone, you know, everyone could be part of it, you know, there should be no judgment, nothing.
A lot of things. It's passion, it's friendship, it's coming out and supporting bands, local music. Honestly, it's just trying to have a good time, building a community, supporting each other, and being there for one another, like a big family, honestly.
It just means a lot, though. I guess growing up in it, you get rooted in it. As you get older, you start to appreciate that more for that reason.
I mean, I've traded everything for the world, so it means the world to me. It's given me friendships and it's taken me places that I'd never go to. So it really means the world to me.
Hardcore means this as a community, but also just like music that releases emotions for you.
Showing up for one another, being supportive, supporting your community.
Man, it's all about community. Doing what you can to stand above those that underestimate you. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm trying to do, man. That's what it's all about to me. You gotta make your place.